You know, we've all seen them. Those yellow boxes perched on a pole, just watching over intersections and highways. But I'm going to let you in on something. The traffic camera you see today, it is a whole different beast from the one that was there just a decade ago. Seriously, the technology has evolved in ways that are, well, pretty surprising, and honestly, a little bit sneaky.
This brings us to the one question every single driver has asked themselves after passing a camera maybe a little too quickly. Did it flash? Am I about to get a ticket in the mail? For years, that bright, impossible-to-miss flash was the dead giveaway. But is that still true? Well, the short answer is a big, fat no. And the reason why? Well, that reveals a fascinating technological revolution. Okay, so first, let's start with the technology we all think we know. The old school speed camera with that blindingly bright flash you just couldn't miss. It turns out that flash was way more than just a gotcha signal to let you know you'd been caught. That crazy blast of light was actually something called a xenon strobe flash. And for the older film and early digital cameras, it was absolutely essential. Its whole job was to act like a super-powered camera flash on steroids, freezing a car moving at high speed in one single crystal-clear frame. It had to overpower everything, sunlight, headlights, you name it, just to get that perfect, readable shot of your license plate. So how did they actually prove you were speeding? It's pretty clever, actually. They didn't just rely on a radar gun. A lot of these older systems used what's called a double flash system. Ready for this? They'd snap two pictures in super quick succession, just milliseconds apart. Then a computer would measure the exact distance your car traveled between those two photos. That gave them undeniable mathematical proof of your speed. Kind of cool, right? But here's the thing. That visible flash is quickly becoming a relic of the past. The evolution of camera tech has led to a completely new, totally invisible method of enforcement. And it's one that works without you ever knowing it's there. The absolute game changer here is the switch from that visible xenon light to invisible infrared light, or IR. You see, modern digital camera sensors can be tuned to see in the infrared spectrum. So the camera can now blast the scene with this powerful pulse of light that lights up your license plate perfectly for the camera. But it's completely 100% invisible to the human eye. And you can see why this new IR technology offers huge advantages for law enforcement. It works in literally any condition, day, night, rain, fog, you name it. It's not distracting to other drivers, and of course the big one, it allows for total stealth operation. You just don't get that flash as a warning anymore. They can even fine-tune the specific wavelength of the IR light to get the best possible picture, depending on whether a state's license plates are reflective or not. But wait, the evolution didn't just stop with making the flash invisible. Oh no, the capabilities of these new cameras have expanded in ways that might really surprise you. They are definitely not single-task machines anymore. In fact, they can now see things that in the past would have required a police officer to be standing right there, looking directly into your car. So, say hello to the new generation of ultra cameras. These things are incredible. Using high-resolution video and that invisible IR flash, these devices can monitor multiple lanes of traffic in both directions all at the same time. And they're not just looking for speeders. They can spot red light runners and, get this, they can even identify drivers who aren't wearing a seatbelt or are using a mobile phone while driving. And here's another stealthy little upgrade. Remember those white lines painted on the road near old cameras? They often needed those to calculate speed. Well, the new systems don't need them. They use an intelligent virtual grid that's laid over the video feed to track vehicles. This makes the cameras way harder to spot and much more flexible for cities to install. Now, this move away from the visible flash seems like a pretty clear win for enforcement, right? But it also brings up a really interesting question. Was that bright, distracting flash more than just an annoyance? Is it possible it was actually a hidden danger? Turns out, a study from the National Institutes of Health decided to look into this exact question. They wanted to know if that sudden, blinding burst of light could actually pose a real risk to drivers. And their findings were pretty significant. The study concluded that the flash itself acts as a really powerful distractor. It literally pulls a driver's attention away from the road at a super critical moment. And this isn't just a feeling people have, it's a measurable delay in processing important information. So how much of a delay are we talking about? Over 100 milliseconds. Now that might not sound like a lot, but think about it this way. If you're traveling at 50 miles per hour, that's an extra 7 feet your car travels before your brain even begins to react to something, like the brake lights of the car in front of you. That is a huge safety concern.
The study also pointed out other issues. That flash can create a lingering afterimage in your vision, and at night, it can temporarily ruin your eye's adaptation to the dark, making it harder to see. And, of course, the most obvious one, it instinctively makes you jerk your eyes away from the road and towards the flash. So, kind of ironically, by getting rid of the flash, these new cameras may have accidentally made our roads a little bit safer.
So after all that, where does this leave us? We've basically watched the humble traffic camera evolve from a pretty simple one-job device into a highly sophisticated multi-purpose surveillance tool. I mean, the journey is pretty clear, right? We went from the visible, single-task cameras of the past to the invisible, multitasking infrared cameras we have today. And the future? Well, it's pointing towards even more advanced systems, likely powered by AI and video analytics, that could be capable of detecting an even wider range of behaviors, all automatically. Which leaves us with one final, and I think really crucial question. This technology is undeniably powerful. I mean, it can enforce laws 24/7 without putting officers in harm's way. But as these cameras get smarter, more capable of seeing not just what our cars are doing, but what we're doing inside them, where do we draw the line? Are we actually building a future with safer roads, or are we just building one that's under constant observation?